CCOM, or Christian Community Outreach Ministries, was started in 1993, where my wife and I started a small Bible study in our living room. I started out working 30 years, approximately 30 years, for the State of Connecticut Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. My wife was a case manager for city welfare, and we were seeing the same population. One day she came home with tears in her eyes, and she said, "We have to do more."
In 1993, he made it very clear to my husband and I that we were created for a purpose, and that purpose was Christian Community Outreach Ministries, with a mission to reach the lost, no matter what it cost us, our time, our energy, our effort, sleepless nights. And you know what? It's been a privilege and an honor to serve him in such a way.
The strength of CCOM is its outreach. And not only did we meet other people where they were, whether they be on the highways or the byways, but we would go on railroad tracks. We would go under the bridges. We would go in old or dilapidated settings. We would move where we believe people that were hurting and in need would be.
The need in our greater Danbury area today is one that's not being met, and that's our single homeless women who are at risk, or single women who are at risk whether they're homeless or not. It's a difference when a homeless woman is on the street as opposed to a man. She becomes a victim to every predator in the street. God has placed it in our hearts in 2013 to establish New Covenant House, and it's housing for single women at risk. And since 2013, approximately 10 women have come through these doors. Grandmothers, pregnant single women, women who are victims of domestic violence. We cannot depend on social services or our government to do that. The body of Christ needs to come together. They can feel the love of Christ. They could be made to feel welcome and know that they're loved. They've got beautiful surroundings because they're beautiful. It's a comfortable family setting where they can fellowship with one another, reestablish security in their foundation, and be made to feel at home. And they're invited to sit down, relax, enjoy this time and place. And so New Covenant House has 4 bedrooms, so we can offer housing for up to 8 women. And they know when they lay their head down at night that they're safe and they're secure, and nobody's going to rush them out in the morning. So it's truly home for up to 6 months or more if needed.
One of the things we had an opportunity to experience and be exposed to is a wonderful prison ministry, where for a season of time we would go into such places as York and Niantic. We would go to West Haven facility. We would go to Cheshire, and we would minister to the people that were hurting there. We just found just such a large and a warm reception in the move of God again, just touching hearts and lives.
Currently, Danbury has a population of over 83,000, and there's very few Christian ministries operating in outreach. This ministry has operated in serving the homeless at Dorothy Day. We were the first breakfast program out of Dorothy Day, and I can honestly say that we had served over 10,000 people. We were the first ministry to start a shelter from the cold. Between the hours of the soup kitchen closing and the shelters opening, people didn't have anywhere to go during the winter months. We were blessed that a neighboring church, Trinity Christian Tabernacle, opened their doors and allowed us to be there to offer Bible studies and a warm meal in between those hours during the winter. And we served in a 5-year period over 500 people.
I became affiliated with CCOM 18 years ago. I was a young high school dropout that was very angry, bitter, did not have a knowledge of Christ, and I felt as though no one was real, no one was sincere. To have people come into my life and be selfless enough to pour into me and guide me was something huge. I was poured into. I was shown love and made to believe that I was somebody and that I was important.
Another outreach ministry we found ourselves going and still go is to rehab facilities where people that struggle with drug and alcohol issues. We have been able to go in there and institute a teaching and practices called 12 Steps to Faith to help them to understand the concept of transitioning from self-centeredness to Christ-centeredness and understanding that the steps are a form of spiritual disciplines to help us to develop skill sets that we might not have had. We were the first Greater Danbury area residential program for men that was Christ-centered. We had established a program that would be from 12 to 18 months of discipleship where we could help to mold and shape young men to be what we believe God had called them to be. We found that the churches that came together experienced the unity of purpose that I really believe God originally intended. And I believe that each year the Rejoice with Voice concert has been blessed. I think it warms my heart to know that it's a type of a foreshadowing of what we can expect to come when we all get to heaven.